Alright, y'all, so today this is going to be kind of an interesting video. This is going to be kind of a follow-up video from my last video, which that video was talking about my initial thoughts because at the time, the news just broke for the Halo CE remake, the Halo campaign Evolved, and I was just giving you my off-the-top thoughts. I've had some more time to sit with this remake. I've heard what other people have had to say about it. I've also seen other people play it more, and this video is going to be kind of more of an honest thoughts kind of video, giving you my thoughts on the Halo CE remake, Halo campaign Evolved. Now, I'm not going to try to repeat too much information I said in my last video, but that being said, I've heard a lot of differing opinions about this remake. I've heard a lot of negative ones, and I've personally said this before, maybe I'm just being pessimistic here, but what was shown by Halo Studios was actually a lot more than I expected. They showed off gameplay. They gave it to other people and YouTubers to play the game for themselves. They revealed a trailer. They also had a behind-the-scenes video, a vid doc, if you will. That's a lot more than I was expecting. Like I said in my initial video talking about my thoughts, I only expected to receive a teaser of this thing, so I was kind of surprised. The gameplay I've seen, I've heard other people say it too, is honestly pretty solid, and the more I've seen it, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, there's a lot of things about it that personally, my opinions are still kind of the same. For example, I was kind of worried how Sprint was going to change Combat Evolve because CE was specifically designed not surrounding Sprint. I am hoping that they adjust the levels slightly to accommodate for Sprint. But what was shown off, and like I said, the only mission that was shown off was the cinematographer, it seemed fine. I mean, it's kind of a decent feature. I wouldn't call it amazing, but, it is a feature you can easily disable if you don't want it. Now, that being said, one big problem that I really am not liking with this remake is the fact that they're reusing animations and assets from Infinite, Halo Infinite specifically. And I like Halo Infinite. I personally have always thought Halo Infinite was the best in the 343 series of games. It had a very solid campaign. The multiplayer, the gameplay was great, but I don't want Halo Infinite and Halo Combat Evolved. One of the biggest problems with Halo Anniversary was the fact that they reused tons of Reach assets. And I'm not sure that was a crunch time issue, which might have been, or they were just lazy. I'm not sure. But they didn't, they kind of copy and paste a bunch of things to make that game. This game is starting to feel like that as well, where they're just copying and pasting tons of Halo Infinite assets and animations. And the more I look at that stuff, the more I'm just like, man, I kind of can't unsee it. And man, it kind of is really lazy. We're kind of falling into some of the traps that Halo Anniversary had. For example, if you watch some of the gameplay people have been playing or that gameplay demo they showed, the Marines are not the CE Marines. They are Halo Infinite Marines. And that's very lame. We've never had a new version of the CE Marines in a game before because in the last game, they were just Reach Marines. So I'm really hoping, and like I said, I don't know, probably not, but I am hoping, like I said, this game is coming out sometime in 2026. Maybe they'll fix it and listen to the criticism and put some new assets in, but we will see. That being said, some of the other weapons, for example, the Needler, I just noticed, that's the Infinite Needler. Come on now. It's not the CE Needler. Some other things I've noticed too, some of the animations are the same. For example, the Sprint looks a little bit like Halo 5 Sprint. They need to change that. Also, I noticed when you overcharge with the plasma rifle, I could be mistaken, but I think that was the plasma pistol. That's the same animation from Infinite. And I was kind of befuddled. I was like, wait, that's the same one from Halo Infinite? This is lame. And I think one of the biggest problems, and like I said, we also see it in the trailer too with the Elite and that remake of that cutscene. And some of the enemies too are ripped out of Infinite. And it's just like, I like Halo Infinite. And like I said, if you're going to rip any assets from any other game, I guess Infinite would make the most sense because stylistically, visually, that game tried to be more of a homage and visual, inspired or inspired from Halo CE. But the problem is it's not CE, it's still post Halo 5 content. It's still a new game all in its own. It is not CE. So I am hoping that one of the biggest problems with this game is hopefully they can put in new animations, new character models, new assets that we're more familiar with Halo CE. You know, I don't want to play Halo Infinite Evolved, right? So that's one of my big problems I noticed, and the more I'm sitting with it, the more I'm like negatively thinking about it. But other than that, I mean, mostly I heard some people say there was a lot of texture popping in the demo. I mean, this is clearly just a work in progress build of the game. The game is going to come out next year. I'm sure they're going to fix a lot of the bugs with this game. So I'm not too worried about that. I mean, that's not like a deal breaker. I expected to see bugs and unfinished things. I would say the presentation of this game, is kind of a lot better than what we saw back in Halo Infinite days, back in 2020. I don't know if y'all remember Craig and all that. At least it was a better presentation than that. Also, trying to think of other things. I think some people have also said a lot of things about like the Forerunner architecture. They don't like it. I actually really like the Forerunner architecture. It could be copy and paste from Infinite, but Infinite had a closer Forerunner design, closer to CE, and that's fine. And also, from what I could see in the demo they played, the environments and the darkness of the ancient ruins, which is how really Halo CE looked, is back here, which is obviously a huge pro in this remake's favor compared to Anniversary, because one of the biggest problems with Anniversary was how brightly lit and neon the environments were. Thank God they fixed that from what I can see in this remake. And honestly, you know, as a Halo fan, I'm just pretty happy from what we saw. I mean, like I said, it's not great. I mentioned some of the negatives. I do think some Halo fans are just being pessimistic for no reason. But honestly, what we're getting is pretty solid. I mean, we're going to get a remake that's going to redesign missions, give us brand new lines of dialogue, brand new level designs, brand new cutscenes, right? And even better, we're going to get 3 missions with Sergeant Johnson that I'm also really excited for. And, you know, it's going to probably be set on Reach, most likely. And we're going to see a lot of content from previous Halo games being naturally put into this game. The only thing is, and like I said, I'm sure we're going to get more information about this game as we get closer to its release date, but I'm very interested to see what the other biomes look. I'm really hoping they fix the asset issue, because that is becoming a pretty big problem for me, because it's like something I kind of can't unsee, you know? Oh, they're using Halo Infinite assets, Halo Infinite animations. It's like, come on, guys. This is a CE. This is Halo Combat Evolved. This is not Halo Infinite, right? I want to see more elements. I want to actually see the CE Marines in a remake, for Christ's sakes. The original Marines, the guys that looked like the Starship Trooper guys a little bit, inspired designs. I want to see those guys. And same thing with the enemies. Same thing with the weapons. Like I said, I'm hoping that like with this extra development time, I mean, they sound like they premiered this thing early enough. Maybe they can make enough changes, but probably not, but we will see. But there's a lot of things, too, I really like about this remake. I also can't wait to see more about what these new Halo missions, these prequel, so to speak, and I'm hoping these are actual legit missions are going to be. But we will wait and see more about this remake as it comes along. I am honestly pretty happy with what we're seeing. It's not like horrible. Maybe my expectations were pretty low, and that's why I'm pretty happy with what we're shown. But honestly, I'm pretty solid with it. I'm honestly looking forward to this remake. Maybe I'm the only Halo fan, because it sounds like I'm the only Halo fan that's looking forward to this, because, you know, one thing about the Halo community, I love the Halo community. We have some of the best community members ever, but we always complain about no content. And then we finally got a lot of content with the CE remake coming, and then it's like, well, I don't like this. And it's just like, that's fine to complain about something, but it's just like, I don't know, like what they've shown is perfectly fine. Like, I'm honestly fine with what they're shown. I mean, the cutscenes look great. They're remaking a lot of things that Halo CE needed. And I'm being objective too. From what they're showing too, I really don't like the reuse of assets. I think some of the animations were a bit wonky. But, you know, all that stuff can probably be fixed. But yeah, that's kind of my quick thoughts, or at least a little bit more of a breakdown of my opinions on Halo Campaign Evolved. I'm very interested to see more of this remake and talk about it more. But yeah, that's my kind of quick thoughts about this video, about the game, excuse me. Hopefully you all have a good day and peace, y'all.